Absolutely, very important. I had a lot of time for Jim. He was excellent. But when we had gone down to the third level of English football, and we had to be extremely tight on finance and cut virtually everywhere, the only thing we didn't cut, in fact, we increased the investment in, even there, was the academy. Because it was pretty obvious to me that if City was going to really start to strengthen its squads and so on and so forth, it would, yes, we would buy players to some extent, or we would. We did some very clever deals in bringing players in, and one in particular. But we needed to develop an academy where we could develop our own, and Jim did that extremely successfully. He was a great asset to the club. I was very fond of Jim, and a very decent guy as well.
So the relegation to the old second division was what brought on. Now we're gonna establish an academy system that's gonna
Well, it
be
was well. No, to be fair, it was we didn't start that. It was established. I mean,
okay.
we did have a youth the youth side and so on and so forth. But I think we professionalised it and we brought it on a level. And Jim was instrumental in doing that.
You think if you and Jim had been there 10 years earlier, do you think Ryan Giggs would have remained as a Manchester City player?
I will duck. I will duck that question. I've no idea.
There was a great generation of Lake, Brightwell, Stewart, White, Redmond. Did they have an influence on your thinking about building up the academy?
Yes, well, they did. Yes, of course they did. And we had quite a few other players that you have mentioned who came through the academy. Yes, it was. I mean, we were very successful in doing that. Now, whether how that would have worked as the club, as the club has sort of developed, and into the club it is now, I'm not so sure because to bring on players who are going to really give you great service in the Championship or even the lower reaches of the Premier League is one thing. To bring on players who can give you service at the very top end, the elite end of the game, is another. And whether I'm not sure now whether any academies are at the top end of English football. This is something I'm not sure about, but whether they're able to service the needs of the top half a dozen, 6 or 8 clubs, I doubt. Be very, they might get the occasional player might come through, but to get absolute top world class players to your academy, it's not easy.
Well, how talented were they as a group?
They
Can you
were good.
compare them to?
They were good. I mean, they were good, but everything's relative. But as first division championship players in the lower reaches of the Premier League, they were good. There's some very good talents there, but they're not players who I believe would fit into the present City side.
Today, it can be argued that City's academy is the best in the world. Can you see the thread through from when you and Jim started planning the club's academy all those years ago to
Well,
nowadays?
I'd like to say yes. I don't know. It's a long thread. You need a long piece of thread now between then and now. So I can't really comment on. But I think the very fact that we took the academy so seriously, we invested in it at a very difficult time. We gave Jim Cassell serious backing and support. People in the club at the time, like Dennis Stewart, were very supportive of the academy. I hope contributed, if you like, towards a culture where the academy was really valued.
Yeah.